There's a number of options in the sports cam market. This model is called the Sports HD DV. It's a bit different because it's not very different at all. We take a look at the front of the box. It's simply labelled Sports HD DV. So not a great deal of effort's gone into the marketing or branding of this camera, but due to its similarities with the market leader, why would you bother? You'll see down the bottom of the box we have the range of colours this camera comes in. I went with the boring standard grey. Well, the back of the box shows more action photos and it also lists the camera's specifications. Let's just try and get a closer view of those specs. Well, here we are. It lists a 12 megapixel CMOS sensor, a 1.5 inch LCD rear screen. We've got the image resolution in 3 different formats: 12 megapixels, 8 megapixels, 3 megapixels. It describes its video resolution as being 30 frames per second at 1920 by 1080. It boasts a video resolution of 1080p and the video format it uses is MOV files. Comes with a 4x digital zoom by the looks of it and a 170-degree wide-angled lens. It'll take a micro SD card up to 32 gigabytes, and its connectivity uses the USB 2.0 format and also HDMI out. Battery life, well, it boasts 70 minutes at 180p. Claims to weigh just under 60 grams with batteries, and it describes the case as being waterproof. Well, let's open this up and see what's in the box. It's very well packaged. I don't see you're going to have any issues with damage during shipping. That's held up very well. Mine shipped from Singapore. You'll see the camera comes housed in its plastic shell in the top compartment, and all of the accessories are all bundled in the lower compartment. I ordered a couple of spare extra batteries and also an SD card at the time. And the shippers have opened the box up and installed those extra items straight into the box. Let's see what it comes with. 2 spare batteries. This seems to be a standard 2-prong charger with a USB output. This seems to be a mount for a handlebar or a bar mount. My guess is that's a cage to mount it without the actual plastic housing case. That would seem to be a tripod adapter. Another adapter that would seem to screw onto a tripod. Looks like a 90-degree mounting clip. Another one. 3. Well, it seems to be like a spring clip, possibly for mounting it to a belt or a strap. Looks like a spare back plate. Looks like 2 mounts, maybe helmet mounts, maybe flat mounts. Let's just open these up. Yeah, they're curved mounts. That one looks like a flat mount. That's another mount. That's a good shape. USB cable. We've got some straps of some sort in here, Velcro straps. This is a wire cable. I guess it's to make sure your camera is tethered to whatever you've attached it to. Cable ties, lens cleaning cloth, and we have the instruction manual. Let's have a look at the camera itself. It comes out of the box ready mounted. Well, the plastic case looks very familiar. It also looks very familiar as to how you open it up. A slide mechanism and a tilt mechanism. Opens very easily. So there we have the camera and the rear LCD screen. This is a good touch. I was just about to berate my supplier for not including the SD card I ordered, but I see somebody's opened the camera up and ready installed the SD card for me. I see that unlike its competitor, it doesn't seem to have a rubber lid to keep dirt and debris out of the USB and the HDMI terminals. I don't see that as being much of an issue unless you're going to be frequently mounting your camera without the case. So we'll just have a look at the battery. This is the first time I've done this, so we need to slide it open and then the hatch pops open. And the battery slides out like that. It's a 3.7 lithium ion battery, 900 mAh. This is the first time I've opened this up, so let's just see if there's any charge in the battery. No, not enough to power it up. So looking at the bottom edge, if I tilt that, you'll see that there's a few rows of the gripping that's actually holes, and you'll see the brassing behind that. I'm guessing that's to allow sound entry into the microphone. We'll just do a quick side-by-side comparison for dimensions with the market leader. So I've got my GoPro Hero 3 on the left, I've got the sports cam on the right. You'll see the dimensions look really very similar. The height is the same. The width is the same. The sports cam would be about 5mm wider than the GoPro, but that's negligible when you take into account that the sports cam has an LCD back while the GoPro doesn't. We'll do a short comparison of the two plastic housings. I don't see that they'll be mutually compatible, as you'll see that the sports cam spouts 2 buttons, whereas the GoPro spouts 1. That's to match up with the 2-button configuration on the side of the sports cam as opposed to the GoPro's 1-button configuration. This could well be in my imagination, but if I squeeze the sides, I think I feel marginally more give in the sports cam housing than the GoPro. But first impressions of the sports cam housing is it's a very tough unit. So just to test to see if the mounts are all compatible, I've just attached the sports cam mount to the GoPro housing. That fits without any problems at all. Well, my first impressions straight out of the box are very positive. I purchased the GoPro last year and that cost me 4.5 times the price of this unit. You'll find you can buy this entire unit for the extra price you'd pay for the additional mounting hardware and the rear LCD screen attachment on the GoPro. How do I feel about purchasing such a cheap option that so closely resembles the market leader? I'm okay with it. I have my specific use for this camera. The main use I have for my GoPro is when I go cycling. Cycling on the roads can be a scary experience, and in my opinion, anybody who can afford to mount these cameras to their bike ought to do so. It's not going to necessarily prevent an accident, but it's more of a deterrent effect. My GoPro mounts to my handlebars and I needed another cam to mount pointing backwards. I went with this model because it's clearly identifiable to drivers. They're going to know exactly what it is. And it's less than 1/4 of the price of another GoPro. So there you have my impressions straight out of the box. I'm going to charge this up and I'm going to see how it operates and hopefully show you some test footage. Thanks for watching and goodbye.